Hi, this is Guy for KCBME, the founder of the Kingdom Chamber of Business, Ministry, and Education. I want to speak a little bit about the joy of the Lord, and I believe this will encourage you and strengthen you in your business. When we go about business, there can be a lot of pressure. There can be a lot of things that weigh us down, that become burdensome to us. However, if you understand that you have the joy of the Lord on your side, then it can transform everything completely. Now, I'm looking around and I'm seeing a lot of Christians um, of a certain type that are going through immense trial and testing. And for me, it's almost as if God has put his finger or his mark on a sector of his children and said, I'm reserving you for a higher purpose, but in order to equip you for that, I've got to put you through more intense training. You've got to go through the fire and you've got to be refined some more. And I'm seeing there seems to be a group or a sector of Christianity which is experiencing this at the moment. But myself, having gone through a chapter like that, I've come to discover in that place, in the darkest times, in the hardest moments, that there's this thing called the joy of the Lord, where no matter how deep and dark it gets, you can still find a place to laugh. You can still find a place to have fun. You can still find a place to have joy. And this comes from the Holy Spirit. It comes from the Holy Spirit lifting you up. I believe we see an example of that with Peter in prison. We see it with Paul and Silas. They were in prison. And in that place of darkness, they could worship. They could say, joy unto the Lord. And so I encourage you to ask God for the joy of the Lord, because in that place, it becomes rather interesting. I had a guy ask me, Guy, how are you? How are things going? And I said, you've got no idea. You've got no idea how bad they are. And I was laughing. Why? Because I was bubbling over with joy. And in that moment, I realized the extreme value and beauty of the joy of the Lord as my strength. So be encouraged, even if it gets incredibly dark. Look to God. And one of the ways to find that joy is, God, even in this situation, I'm handing it over to you. And I know you've got it. You're going to take care of it. And so I'm going to rejoice. That helps to lay the foundation for the joy of the Lord is my strength. It's a beautiful thing. If you are here for the first time, there is one that prophecy has pointed to. Thousands of prophecies pointed to this one man over thousands of years, written by different authors, different places, different locations, and they all pointed to one they called the coming Messiah, Yahushua, HaMashiach, Jesus Christ. When that one came, he said, no one comes to the Father but by me. There is no other. He also said that after me, many will come claiming to be the Christ, but do not follow them. There is only one. That one says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. It is impossible for all of those prophecies to be fulfilled in one person, and yet they were fulfilled in him. It's statistically impossible. And so I encourage you to, if you don't know Jesus Christ, to get to know him, to read the word, study the word, and pray and ask and say, in your private, just say, Jesus, if you are real, I want to know you. Please reveal yourself to me. And sooner or later, he will answer that prayer. May God bless you.